All right guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steffi. This is the Messy Keto Kitchen, and today we're going to be talking about a very popular subject, which is intermittent fasting. So we're going to talk about intermittent fasting, what exactly it is, and then also how you can implement it in your life, what the benefits are, all of that stuff. This is a super popular topic right now. Actually, it's been for a very, very long time. And so I noticed when I put a video on my site about intermittent fasting, it got a lot of views, and I didn't really put a ton of energy into explaining it at that point, but we're gonna do that today. So first of all, without putting anything else before, all of this, I'm gonna ask you first if you'll subscribe to the channel. For those of you who are already subscribed, love you. You guys all know we have great content, but for the rest of you guys, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So go ahead and smash the subscribe button and you can see content like this pretty much every week. So let's get into what intermittent fasting actually is. So intermittent fasting is not a diet. And let's try to get that out of our minds altogether. It is an eating pattern, okay? So there are benefits that would look like, what you would look at for like a diet, for like weight loss and whatnot, but really in the end of the day, it is simply an eating pattern. So there's a couple different ways that these eating patterns work. There's variations on a theme, but the most common one is the 16-8 method. So what that does is basically you would skip breakfast and restrict your eating window to like 8 hours a day. So let's back that up a little bit. Let's make it more simple. You wake up in the morning, let's say you got a full 8 hours of sleep. You would go another 8 hours before having your first meal. That would leave you with 8 hours left in the day. So your feeding window is in that 8 hours only. Now again, this can be a variation. You could go 20 hours and then have a 4-hour feeding window. Early on, you're gonna find probably that it's a little bit tougher until your body gets acclimated to it to go much longer than a 16-8, but it's up to you. The next one is a 24-hour fast. Usually these would only be done maybe once or twice a week. Again, some people are tougher than others. Other people, the thought of not having food for 24 hours freaks us out a little bit. But I do promise you that as you get more into intermittent fasting, you'll find that a 24-hour fast may not be that far off, but let's not go crazy. So 24-hour fast is just like it sounds. It's basically like you would eat dinner and then you wouldn't eat again until dinner the next day. A popular thing that gets tied in with this as well is OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. 1 meal a day would basically be that you would get all of your calories for the day in one big meal. Some people really, really like that. Sometimes I do that, but it's a little bit trickier if you're somebody who likes to snack a little bit later and you'd like to have that bigger feeding window. But some people love it because it keeps them on track throughout the entire day, knowing that they have like this nice big feast. If you talk about somebody who gets 1,600 calories a day and they're gonna get them all at dinner, sometimes that helps keep you on track. So that's your 24-hour fast. Then there's the 5-2 method, and I've done this a couple of times in my life with pretty good success. It's a little bit harder, so I'm saying I probably wouldn't start off this way, but the 5-2 method basically is that 2 days a week, non-consecutive days, you would eat about 500 to 600 calories that day only. So it doesn't matter how you spread them out throughout the day, but you would only eat 500 to 600 calories. The goal with the intermittent fasting overall is to create a calorie deficit. So you're restricting your calories a little bit, hopefully, because you're having less time to eat them in. People who graze throughout the day, what ends up happening is they actually think about food more often, and it keeps priming your body to think that it's hungry more frequently. So early on, you're gonna notice that if you're used to eating lunch at 11:30 every day, the very first day of intermittent fasting, and maybe even the first few days of it, you're going to notice that at 11:30 on the dot, your stomach starts to growl. And it's really easy at that point to say, screw this, I'm hungry, my body's obviously telling me it's hungry. But let's be realistic. Overall, most of us have enough body fat on us. We have some good fat reserves that we're not gonna starve to death by missing one meal, okay? So let's get that out of our head. It's gonna be mind over matter very early on. So the hunger pangs are usually the hardest part early on. Make sure you're getting tons and tons of water, which you should be doing anyway. Water is your life source. But especially when you're intermittent fasting, it's going to help you keep feeling full, but also kind of take your mind off of the food. So some of the benefits, because why would we do this without a benefit? So some of the benefits, and there's actually a ton of them. Your body adjusts hormone levels that make stored body fat more accessible. So when that happens, your body is more prone to shedding excess fat because it is now more accessible to be shed. That's a very basic description, but that is something that happens. It also helps repair your cells, which is really, really cool. As we get older, it's even better. We want our cells to be, in the best shape ever, just like the rest of our bodies. So cell repair. Your levels of HGH, which is the human growth hormone, they increase exponentially during a fasting period. So if you think about it, when you're sleeping at night, and let's say, again, if you're hopefully getting your 6 to 8 hours or whatever, your body is in a fasted state. So your HGH levels are already going pretty strong. Once you break that fast, you kind of are hindering that a little bit so your body can figure out what it needs to do with the food that you're putting in. So if you extend your fast even longer, you're at 16 hours, those HGH levels are doing like full double duty. They're super, super good, and you want that. Look at all the people that are researching how to inject HGH into their bodies or whatever, and you'll understand why it's important. Fasting can also decrease insulin levels, which also makes body fat more accessible. Again, that's what we want. We want that body fat to be utilized and shed. That's the ideal goal. And then it also helps prevent against a lot of disease. Now, is this the cure for disease? Please don't get me wrong. Don't quote me as saying that like this is what the cure for all diseases or anything out there is. But there is a lot of evidence to suggest that this can help prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, a lot of those things. Some people have even suggested that it can have anti-cancer qualities, but again, I'm no doctor. This is just some of the stuff that I've researched over the years and have come to understand. In addition to all of this, when you are in a fasted state, obviously you're eating less hours of the day, like I was saying before, so you have automatic calorie reduction. And in the end of the day, no matter what diet you're on, whatever plan you're following, whether it be a ketogenic diet, an Atkins approach, low calorie, whatever it is, calorie reduction is the only way to truly lose weight overall, okay? So you have a calorie reduction, and it also an increase in norepinephrine. And norepinephrine are your fat burning hormones. So that's exactly what we want. An increase in metabolic rate, weight loss, decrease in inflammation. So anybody like me who has arthritis, I also have back problems and stuff, good spells of intermittent fasting can help with a lot of that stuff. Brain health, anti-aging, reduction of bad cholesterol, like the benefits are just so amazing. So let me get to the why people hesitate on it, why it can be a little bit tricky, aside from the hunger originally. One part of it, like for me, I love my coffee. Early in the morning, that's the first thing I want is my coffee. And I drink my coffee bulletproof. So I have the butter, the MCT oil, the sweetener. A true fasted state, you cannot have anything that has calories in it basically, because then you are no longer fasted. Your body is starting to work on those calories. So for me, it's a little bit trickier because then I have to have my coffee black. I'd still drink it. I still like it. You can still put like a sweetener like erythritol, monk fruit or something because that doesn't have any calories. But otherwise you're having to stick to anything that like a diet soda would technically count. Try to be careful of that, obviously. Be mindful of how much you're getting of that. But diet soda, water, black coffee, tea with no cream, any of that kind of stuff, that would be okay. But if you're like me, coffee starts my day and it is a little bit tricky to do it without the bulletproof. It can be done and the benefits outweigh all of the hardships of going without bulletproof coffee, obviously. Early on, like I said, you're gonna experience some hunger pangs. Those are very normal. We have tuned our bodies into thinking that we're hungry at certain times of the day. The reality is, after you drink some water and you get past that first little stretch of feeling hungry, it goes away very quickly. And over time, you're not even gonna notice it. You'll make it through a 16-hour fast, and then before you know it, it's 18 hours and 20 hours, and it's no big deal. Your body is coming from a hunter-gatherer stage, or phase, I guess. Is that right? That's probably not the right word. But originally, we as a species were hunter-gatherers, okay? So there was not easy access to food all the time. There was many, many times where it was days, even sometimes weeks, where it was feast or famine. So our bodies are automatically already programmed to be able to live like this. We are okay to fast. So don't think you're gonna starve to death, you're gonna be okay. So here's the how-to, okay? I kind of already laid it out for you, but just real simple, the how-to. If you're doing a 16-8, You wake up in the morning, you can have that cup of coffee or the tea or the water. I highly recommend as much water as possible. Like I said before, it'll keep you full. Plus hydration helps flush things out. It keeps your body feeling good. Other than that, you're not gonna be having anything else. You can still drink the water, coffee, tea, all black throughout the day until your feeding window starts, but that's it. Then at let's just say your feeding window, which is such a weird way to say it. Feeding window makes it sound like, like you're feeding the pigs. So we'll just call it our eating window. So let's say your eating window starts at 2 o'clock. You have from 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock to go ahead and put your calories in. Now, the idea would be that you would hit your normal calories for either maintenance or a little bit of weight loss. So let's say my maintenance calories are 1,500. I'm gonna do 1,400 calories in that 8-hour window. What you might find in that shortened period of time to eat, like I was saying before, is that 1,400 calories in that span of time might feel like too much, and you might end up getting 1,300 or 1,200. And that's actually some of the beauty of it, okay? The goal would be, do not go over your calories. So if 1,400 is your goal, don't be like, well, I have 8 hours, I can eat whatever I want in those 8 hours, okay? You're gonna wanna make sure that you consume those ideal macros like we already talked about. So if you are following a ketogenic diet, the same rules would apply. 75 to 80% of your macros coming from fat, etc. You guys all know the rules on that. And if you don't, leave a comment below and I'll be glad to help you with that. One of the common questions people ask as well is, can I work out fasted? You absolutely can, and it's actually very, very beneficial. Again, maybe I would wait, maybe not do that the first week or so that you're fasting because you're trying to get your body used to it. But fasted workouts, you will see even better results. Years ago, I didn't think I could ever work out without eating, but now, when I work out fasted, I get more endurance, a better burn. The calories are burning a bunch faster. I don't know the science behind it, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So look that up, somebody get back to me and tell me why, but it's pretty awesome. You're gonna see a lot more benefits of it. And then also that kind of breaks up your day. So if you work out in the morning, then you're just that much closer to your eating window anyway. So you just killed some time and you had a great workout. Some people recommend, if you're doing a fasted workout, to have your branched chain amino acids. I know there are some out there that are sugar-free, that don't have calories. That would be okay. However, if you find one that has sugar, that has calories, that would technically take you out of a fasted state. And that's not what our goal is. So anyway, that is the long and short of intermittent fasting. We're gonna follow up with this video in a couple more videos, and we're gonna do intermittent fasting with working out. We're gonna do intermittent fasting with a carnivore approach. We're gonna do a lot of different things for you guys here, but we just wanted to give you the basics. If you have questions, as always, please go ahead, comment below, ask away. It is entirely possible I forgot at least 10 things, and that's okay, guys. I just want you to have a good roadmap to start off, to know what you're doing with intermittent fasting, and to understand why it's so beneficial. I promise you, once you get used to it, you won't know how you lived without it. It is so good, and you're gonna see even better results. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Again, questions, comments, concerns. No, we don't take concerns. I forgot about that. Questions or comments, go ahead and put it below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye, guys.